The true origin of Satan, from angel of light to adversary of God. Part Uxie, the hook, sowing the seed of mystery. Beneath the flickering glow of a single candle, where ancient dust motes dance in the hushed air, we embark on a journey into the shadows of faith. The very mention of his name evokes dread, conjures images of torment, and stands as the ultimate antithesis to all that is good. Yet, who is this enigmatic figure we call Satan? Is he a primordial force of evil, eternally opposed to the divine, or does his story hold a more complex, perhaps even tragic, origin? Tonight, we peel back the layers of millennia, venturing beyond the simplistic caricatures to explore the true genesis of the adversary, tracing his fall from celestial splendor to the darkest depths of rebellion. Prepare to challenge preconceived notions as we seek to understand not just what he is, but how he became the embodiment of defiance. Part Coxie, the journey of deep discovery. A. The historical and cultural context. Echoes of ancient adversaries. To truly grasp the concept of Satan within the Judeo-Christian tradition, we must first immerse ourselves in the ancient Near Eastern world from which these narratives emerged. Early Hebrew thought, particularly in its formative stages, did not possess a fully developed doctrine of a singular, cosmic evil entity directly opposing God. Adversary forces certainly existed: chaos, foreign nations, personal sin. But these were often understood as challenges permitted by God, or even agents used by God to test or punish humanity. Consider the ancient Persian dualism of Zoroastrianism, with its cosmic struggle between the benevolent Ahura Mazda and the malevolent Angra Mainyu Ahriman. While distinct from biblical monotheism, the exposure of Jewish exiles to such ideas during the Babylonian captivity likely influenced the development of a more formalized concept of an opposing spiritual entity. Similarly, Egyptian mythology featured figures of chaos and darkness, though these were generally not presented as equal and opposite to the creator deities. It is within this rich tapestry of ancient belief systems that the nascent understanding of a celestial adversary began to take shape, gradually evolving from a concept of a divine prosecutor to an independent, malevolent force. B. Decoding the scripture, the evolution of Satan. While Cain is exiled from God's immediate presence and the cultivated land, he is not abandoned to complete annihilation. He is allowed to live, to bear the consequence of his actions, and perhaps to find some form of redemption or at least continued existence. It underscores the sanctity of life, even the life of a murderer, and positions God as the ultimate arbiter of life and death, preventing mob justice. The pivotal shift begins in books like Job. Here, Ha-Satan, the Satan, appears not as the ultimate evil, but as a member of the divine court, an accuser or prosecutor, whose role is to test the faithfulness of humanity. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where have you come?" Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down on it." Job 1-7. He acts with God's permission, fulfilling a specific role within the heavenly bureaucracy. He is not inherently evil, but rather an agent whose function brings about adversity. However, a gradual but significant evolution occurs. In 1 Chronicles 21-1, Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to number Israel, whereas the parallel account in 2 Samuel 24-1 states, "The anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, 'Go, number Israel and Judah.'" This linguistic divergence hints at a growing theological distinction. Actions previously attributed directly to God or his agents, as a test or punishment, now begin to be attributed to an independent, malevolent entity, Satan. By the time of the intertestamental period and the New Testament, Satan has solidified into a proper name, referring to the chief fallen angel, the epitome of evil. Jesus refers to him as Satan, Matthew 4:10, the evil one, Matthew 6:13, and the prince of demons, Matthew 9:34. Paul calls him the God of this world, 2 Corinthians 4:4. This transformation from a divine prosecutor to the archenemy is a testament to the evolving theological landscape. See the hidden theological meaning, pride, rebellion, and the fall. The narratives that most profoundly shape our understanding of Satan's origin are found in prophetic books, specifically Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28. While these passages primarily address earthly kings of Babylon and Tyre, respectively, Christian theology has widely interpreted them allegorically as describing the fall of a glorious celestial being. Isaiah 14:12-1-5 speaks of, "How you have fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn, how you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low." It continues with a powerful declaration, "I will ascend to heaven. Above the stars of God I will set my throne on high. I will sit on the mount of assembly in the far reaches of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to Sheol, to the far reaches of the pit." This passage, with its vivid imagery of ambitious ascent and catastrophic fall, forms the bedrock of the Lucifer myth, a once glorious angel, embodying light, consumed by pride and desire to usurp God's authority. Similarly, Ezekiel 28:12-1-5 describes a seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. "You were in Eden, the garden of God. You were an anointed guardian cherub. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created, till unrighteousness was found in you." This portrays a being of immense beauty, wisdom, and divine favor, dwelling in the very presence of God, whose perfection was marred by internal corruption. The unrighteousness found in you is universally understood as pride and rebellion against the Creator. These passages, when synthesized, paint a consistent theological picture. Satan was not created evil, but rather as a magnificent angelic being, a son of the morning, a guardian cherub, whose profound intelligence and beauty led to an overweening pride. He desired to be like the Most High, seeking to dethrone God rather than serve Him. This act of rebellion, born of self-exaltation, resulted in his expulsion from heaven, a cosmic fall that irrevocably transformed him from a ministering spirit into the ultimate adversary. D. Controversies and theories. The enduring questions. While the traditional understanding of Satan's origin as a fallen angel is widely accepted within Christianity, various interpretations and debates persist. Some scholars argue for a more gradual, evolving understanding of evil within biblical texts, suggesting that a fully formed concept of Satan as an independent, malevolent being only crystallized later in post-exilic Judaism and early Christianity. They might point to the absence of a clear creation of evil narrative in Genesis, suggesting that evil is rather a consequence of free will gone astray. Another area of discussion revolves around the nature of Satan's power. Is he merely a created being, subordinate to God and only capable of acting within divine permission, or does he possess an almost co-equal power in a perpetual struggle against good? The biblical narrative, while acknowledging his significant influence in the world, consistently portrays him as ultimately subservient to God's ultimate authority, his fate sealed, and his power limited. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7 suggests an agency that can be overcome through faith. Furthermore, the very concept of evil itself remains a profound philosophical and theological puzzle. Does God create evil? Most mainstream theology maintains that God created all things good, and evil is a corruption, a privation of that good, stemming from the misuse of free will by created beings, both angelic and human. Satan's fall thus serves as the quintessential example of how even perfect beings, endowed with free will, can choose rebellion over obedience, transforming light into darkness and an angel of glory into the adversary. Part 3. Conclusion. Eternal Echoes. We have journeyed from the nuanced roles of the ancient adversary to the definitive pronouncements of the New Testament, tracing the profound transformation of a celestial being. The true origin of Satan, as unveiled in the ancient texts, is not a tale of primordial darkness confronting an eternal light, but rather a somber narrative of unparalleled beauty and wisdom, tragically corrupted by the insidious poison of pride. He was not created evil, but chose evil, fundamentally altering his nature and initiating a cosmic conflict that reverberates through history and within the human heart. The story of Satan, the fallen angel, leaves us not with simple answers, but with profound reflections. It compels us to confront the nature of free will, the seductive power of pride, and the enduring reality of spiritual warfare. His fall serves as a stark reminder that even in the heavens, rebellion can take root, and that the greatest glory can be utterly undone by the choice to elevate oneself above the Creator. As the candle flickers, casting long shadows, we are left to ponder. If such a magnificent being could fall, how much more vigilant must we be in guarding our own hearts against the allure of self-exaltation, seeking always to serve, rather than to supplant, the one who is truly most high? The true origin